And if my memory serves me correctly, it's very rich meat, a bit like pheasant. Hi, I'm Steve from 1233D. Today we are going to do an unboxing and review of the TOOCAA Laser Cutter stroke engraver. Let's dive right in. I have no idea what to expect because I have not dabbled with laser cutters. Overall impressions from the packaging, it seems to be quite well packed. We have decent chunky cardboard corners, plenty of foam as always. I will move this to the side and get out piece by piece panel. Another panel with a micro switch. Another panel. Parts. More parts. I will say while I'm just pulling out these parts, this feels very premium aluminium. Quite thick. Nice finish. The same with these. And this piece is in fact solid. Everything's coming out appearing to be labelled. Two little gas struts and the fittings. More foam. Another panel. More foam. And yet another panel. And another panel. More foam. There is plenty of foam. Right. I'm gonna now pop the box on the floor and carry on excavating the parts. Okay. So power lead, power brick, transformer, whatever you want to call it. Appears to be some ducting. Another power adapter. Some very stylish glasses. Turn everything green. The laser module, quite weighty. A huge fan, a Jubilee clip, a fan grill, an adapter, 4 feet. User guide, consumable parts. Box of hardware, a very nice little tool set. Some screws, and I assume the mainframe. Did I say that like that guy out of Austin Powers then? I assume the mainframe.
$100 billion!
I guess we should open this box entitled the user guide. So yeah, please just allow me a few moments to study said manual and we shall be right back.
5 minutes later.
Okay, so the TOOCAA L2 assembly. So opening the manual, it's giving me an exploded view of what we're going to be doing. First step, tip this part on its side and attach the feet. There is only 4 holes on the bottom, so they can only screw in to one place. And you don't need any tools for this part. Step 1, done. We have feet. Let's turn the page. What it's showing now, we move the gantry, that little carriage, this lever here, it is saying to lift up and attach this little beastie. I wouldn't recommend looking into the laser beam while it is powered on. You may end up with no eyeballs. We'll just lock that into place as is for now. So slide down, push down the lever right the way to the furthest point at the bottom to ensure that the laser module is locked into place. Next, this cable here, which is a USB cable, plugs straight into the top of the laser, like so, is asking us to install 2 screws. I can only assume it's these 2 screws because I don't have any other screws currently. So on top of that plug, there is just 2 holes that secure the cable. They don't need to be overly tight, just snug down. They're just to stop the plug from working loose. And it says, congratulations, you have completed the installation of the laser engraver. We will proceed to the installation of the smart enclosure now. I'm going to pop this out of the way so I have some room. First off, it's calling for this part with the hole in the back. So I shall remove this from the packaging. And it's telling me here for this step I will need an M4 by 55mm long bolt. Nicely marked bag. This very swish looking hex driver, which has a ball end on it, even branded, TOOCAA. And a spanner, 1 spanner. First up, aluminium profiles. So I've buried everything that I need, typical. We'll assemble it according to how the diagram shows. So it's had it that way up. This little corner bracket here fits in place like that. We do have little cables that are for LED lights, so just be careful with them, like so. It wants the fan, mounting plating, and the grill. 4 of these long screws. Obviously going to want 4 nuts. Pay attention, it's always a good thing. Right, so the grill, basically, if you look at the grill from that side, the arms are bent back, so that wants to be against the inside of the enclosure. Pay attention to the mounting orientation of the fan and the fan guard. It's not giving me any instruction as to which way. It's not showing me a sticker on this which should be going like so. So I can only assume that's the right way round. So take the fan shroud, that basically goes on the back of there, like so. We then want to pop this in place. So screw through there and through there. Probably get a couple in just so it lines up. Pop the fan, that's in place. Mounting plate in place. nylock nut. Just start them off. And once you've got it all of them in and fitted, you can tighten them all up in one go. Get a little spanner, hold that on the nut, voila. Next up, it wants us to use some N4 10mm screws, those, and we want 4 of, same driver again. And then all we're going to do, take the screw, place it through the hole, which then goes through the plastic and finishes flushly right here. So these inside portions of aluminium are actually threaded, so there's no nuts on the back side, and that is what you have. I will pop that there. We don't need that box. Next up, we have 2 sides. That one and that one. This little bag of gizmos. So we want these 2 bally joint bits. If you look at the panel, we've got another piece of acrylic bonded here with screw holes in it. So this fixes to that again with M410s. So there's 3 of those in each. Again, all these holes into the acrylic are all pre-threaded. Nice. So that's that one. We'll do the same thing with this one. I have to say, while I'm just putting this together, I'm quite initially impressed by the quality of the enclosure. Nice thick parts. The actual lights are encased in nice track and covers, diffusers. So next up, we have this bit, which that slots into there like so. That slots into there like that. And again, M410, another 4 of those. And we just fix the frame exactly as we were before, straight through, just like that. Then these little wires that we have in the corners, they're just a male and a female. So we now want to plug those in. Oh, voila. And we turn the page again. We have a little bit of a dilemma because I don't know. It's not telling me which one of these bits to actually use. But needless to say, these are colour coded. So it doesn't tell you that in the instructions. So got a blue label and a blue label. Oh, it says that side up, only assume. And that's that side up. So that slots onto there. 1, 2, 3, 4. Another 4 10mm long screws. Second hole in. Miss 2 holes. The 2 holes that you're missing are bigger, so you won't really get mixed up. And then that one, and then the second hole in again. Now, slip that around. Ooh, we want 5. There's a hole in each corner, so I'll start off with them. There and there. We have 1 in the middle, 1 on that side, another one there, and we turn the page again. Okay, so it wants 2 M4 16mm long screws now, and it's saying through the aluminium into the frame. It's wanting me to do a lot of different pieces. I'm going to run out of room. So I'll pop this out of the way for a minute, because next we want this part. I suppose it looks complicated, but the instructions are quite easy to follow. So I assume this part. So I think this side up. Again, the sticker. So that pops onto there. 2 little aluminium plates held in place by magnets. We want more M4 10mm long screws again. So another 4 of these. The outside hole. Miss these 2 holes. 1 in that one. 1 in the next one. Miss the next 2. 1 in that one. Then it wants these little hinge thingamajingamas, asking us to fix these in place with the 4 20mm screws and nuts. I'll pop the screw through the holes at the side. These want to be facing inwards, like so, loosely on the back so nothing falls apart, and I'll do the same over here, again keeping that facing inside. Now there's a bit of a discrepancy here, because it does say here, pay attention to the direction of the anti-slip nut, the anti-slip split nut. Honestly, in my opinion, these are nylock nuts. They're not anti-slip split nuts. So the image that is showing you in that reference picture is not actually what you have. Ultimately, they are nylock nuts. The bigger portion with the hex part goes to the plate, ultimately. The same as any nylock nut. So that's just something that, if you're not quite aware, may confuse you a little bit, but that is what it is. Next up, it wants us to get the main part back on the table, and then aluminium to aluminium, and we are then requiring some hinges. Initial impressions, even the hinges are exceptional quality. Then it wants, so M5 14mm long screws. We're going to need 8. Add a 3mm Allen key. If they don't quite line up correctly, just back off the other 2 screws that you put in initially. And as you'll see there, they they just drop straight in. So we have a lid with a hinge. So now the front portion, which will be this last piece, the missing piece to the puzzle. Again, labelled, and the labels really correlate exactly to which way around you need to have it and everything. So it's really quite intuitive. You'd be hard pressed to put it together wrong. So again, for this, we want another 4 M4 10mm screws. Like that. And then that way up with this part here, we want 3 more M410 screws. I'm just going to pop these all through the holes so it's lined up square while trying to tighten them down like so. This, try and do it back to front. That slots onto there. Some more, 4 more M4 10mm screws. If I lift up the lid, this could be interesting. So, oh.
Hello there.
Hey, voila. That was easier than I thought it was going to be. Congratulations, you've completed assembly of the smart enclosure. At this point, we would like to remove this smart enclosure from our table. Pop it down here for a second. Bring back the main frame and then get the smart enclosure and lift that onto the main frame. And we have these little mounty plates. All we need to do with these is screw these into place with M4 8mm screws. It's 3 down each side, so I'm not tightening them all the way up at the minute, just so we can move everything about if we need to. While I'm doing this, I might as well give you a rundown on what's smart about the enclosure. According to the specifications for it, the machine is fitted with a couple of safety features. We have a switch on the door that will basically stop the machine instantly while engraving or cutting if the door's opened, because the last thing that you want to be doing is looking directly at laser beams. That's one aspect. The machine also has a built-in gyro, so if it detects that the machine's moved or has become unlevel or unstable, it will stop what it's doing, scream at you and inform you that the machine is wonky, because ultimately you could pick it up, put your hand under it. If you have a small child that is very inquisitive, it wouldn't end well. I believe we also have built-in smoke detection, so if whatever you're cutting decides that it's going to spontaneously combust, the machine will let you know. Fire! Well, I'd imagine that it will again stop what it's doing and cut the power. So I'd call that smart. They do claim to be one of the safest laser engravers on the market, but I mean, so far everything's lined up really well. There's not been any real boo-boos. So as Chris the videographer has just pointed out, if you are actually sat at home now watching this video, it is testament to how safe this machine actually is, because I am not cut in half. I am still here, to be mounted at the back, so directly under the extractor, and then the enclosure should be secured to the base, just like so. Woohoo! Okay, next up, where's my knife? We're pretty much done for setup. Can't beat a good bit of ducting. Big Jubilee clip. So I'm just going to pop this onto the back of the machine. It is a very tight fit. There we go. And we shall secure that in place with the big Jubilee clip. And, ladies and gentlemen, assembly is now complete. I'm going to pop all the tools back in the box, just gather up all the bits and pieces that we don't actually need. And we shall resume when we have it powered on, and we will go from there. Right, so sorry if I have my back to you, I will turn around. So at this point we have now finished the assembly process, so we're going to proceed following the manual to make our first cut stroke engraving. We have a little USB doodly doodly doo, which it does say to pop into the side of the machine. We also have a TF card, which it also says to pop into the machine, just to note the contacts face up. Next up in the consumable pack, it says, whoa, we need the aluminium plate, so definitely remove the plastic, otherwise you will have fire. Basically, from the pictures, it does not give me any dimensions, so I'm just going to roughly eye up where it's showing me on the picture. And then we have a piece of brass wood, which is 3mm thick. This wants to be placed on top of the aluminium sheet, that is so we do not cut straight through the table. Once we have done that, if you're looking at the machine face on the left hand side, there's this little lever. We will do some close-ups of this. Now basically this is the focal length. So basically you drop that lever down and then you use the locking lever on the other side, which is very tight. You then drop the laser down so that the lever is giving you the optimum spacing, and then lock that lever back into place. Once you've done that, lift up that lever back out the way. So that should now be set for the optimal focal distance from the piece that we're going to be engraving stroke cutting. So next up, we need to plug in the fan, press a couple of buttons, and sit back and watch the magic. I do have a plug there that's not plugged in, which it hasn't told me to plug in, so I will plug that in now. Unless it did tell me to plug it in and I missed it. But anyway, it's plugged in. So, just a quick recap. The fan's fitted. We have vented that outside. Ideally, you don't want to be pluming it into the room because it might fill with smoke. I don't think we need the lid open now. We've plugged in the power. I'm going to go around the back of the machine, plug in the fan. We'll then turn the machine on. If you don't hear me talking, the fan is quite loud. Release the fan! It does slowly spin up, but I can tell from the noise that this is quite powerful. So the fan's on. Next, we turn on the power on the side of the machine. We have lights. Once we have done that, it is basically saying tap and release the button on the front panel to view the movement of the laser module. The laser module is homed. It has now gone back, and we need to basically move the panel that away. So I'll tap it again, see. We have the laser across the top of the piece of wood. Next up, close the lid. Double click the button to start the machine. Big warning, do not watch directly at the laser. Please wear goggles to observe the progress of the operation. I do believe that this is laser proof, but needless to say, we won't be staring at the light. I'm just going to literally start the machine, see what happens. Okay, so the pre-installed test cut engrave has done. We will see how it has performed. There's the cut part. I mean, as you saw, fell out of there really easily. So it's cut through that. Super nice. I will show you the board. The reason that you get burr marks or whatever on the back is because there's no air gap between the object that you're cutting and the base material. But basically that's just the residue from the smoke. But we will clean that up with a little bit of sandpaper. Straight off the bat, the lettering is engraved to probably near 1 millimeter deep. Overall, quite impressive. In summary, first impressions of the TOOCAA L2 Laser Cutter. Quality is really, really good. The materials that they've used to construct the machine appear to be of high quality. From the first initial test cut that we've done, I can see this providing a lot of uses. We will continue to perform multiple cuts on different types of material, see what happens, and we will post all of those on screen round about now. We will leave it there for now. So if you are interested in this machine, please check out the link in the description. I have contacted TOOCAA as well regarding some of the accessories that are available for this machine, i.e. air assist and a few other bits and pieces, so I will keep you posted with those. But overall, my first impressions of this are very, very promising. I hope you've enjoyed this video and found it useful and informative. Please do not forget to like and subscribe, and if possible, share amongst your friends. Sharing is caring. Goodbye for now, and we will catch you on the next one.
As always, we aim to have the most competitive 3D printer prices on the market. If you see any of our printers being sold by a mainstream retailer for less, please drop us an email using the link in the description, and we'll do our very best to beat their price. Also, if you're watching from outside the UK, check the description for links to our European 123 3D sister stores.